Hey guys, Mono here with a new episode of Monologues, a weekly video series where I'll be discussing video game related news. There's not a whole lot of things going on this week, but there is one big one, and that is Bethesda's reply to Mick Gordon's article on Medium, where he posted a 14,000 word long article detailing his work on Doom Eternal and the Doom Eternal OST, and basically refuting with, screenshots of emails and stuff like that. He's refuting Marty Stratton's post on Reddit from 2 years ago, where he basically blamed Mick Gordon, the composer of the Doom soundtrack, for the problems that they had with the OST and its bad reception. Now Bethesda has issued this reply saying the recent post by Mick Gordon both mischaracterized and misrepresented the team at id Software, the development of Doom Eternal, Marty Stratton, and Chaz Mossholder with a one-sided and unjust account of an irreparable professional relationship. They say they are aware of all the details and history in this matter, they support Marty, Chad, and the team at id Software, and they reject the distortion of the truth and selective presentation of incomplete quote-unquote facts. Now, they are not including any information with this post. They say they do have documented evidence that they will disclose in an appropriate venue. So that probably means in a court of law. There's obviously lawyers involved and they will probably advise against posting any evidence online, which makes sense. But then again, Mick Gordon's post is pretty lengthy and pretty detailed. So, I'm with Mick Gordon on this one. It seems like he's in the right here. And then Bethesda goes on to do the most hypocritical thing possible by saying the statements posted online have incited harassment and threats of violence against Marty, Chad, and the id Software team. Any threats of harassment directed towards members of our team will be met with swift and appropriate action to protect their health and safety. Where was Bethesda during the 2 years that Mick Gordon was receiving death threats and, harassment and threats of violence against him because of a post that Marty Stratton had done that could have been completely avoided? Like, Bethesda could have issued a statement about the OST saying there were unforeseen consequences, unforeseen events that led to the OST not being of the quality that they envisioned. And, they could have done that without blaming Mick Gordon for everything. But no, they went out of their way to blame Mick Gordon on an online Reddit post, a public forum, throwing him under the bus. And they knew for 2 years that Mick Gordon was being harassed. They knew that this had brought consequences against him, and they said absolutely nothing. They could have very easily posted something online saying, we had some falling out with Mick Gordon, but that is in no way, shape, or form a reason for people to harass him. We stand by the work he did, so, back off. They didn't do that, and now they're saying Mick Gordon's post has incited harassment and threats of violence against their guys, which is, it's such a bad look. This is really, it's really hypocritical, and, it just makes me take Mick Gordon's side even more on this. I think he is in the right here. I wish him the best in court. If they go to court or if they settle, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't think we're going to see much development about this news going forward, because I don't think neither Mick Gordon nor Bethesda have more to say about this, and they're probably going to resolve it in a private matter. Maybe we find out in a couple of years what actually happened. Moving on, we got a hot new game release. Well, kind of new but old. Spider-Man Miles Morales is out on PC. It is a fantastic game. It is a short game, but it's a really good game because it's basically the same as the first game in terms of gameplay, but with better combat. So overall, as far as gameplay goes, it is a better game than the original PS4 Spider-Man. Now you have it on PC. I do highly recommend this game. It is a ton of fun. There's also some information about the Witcher 3 Next Gen update, which is coming December 14th for anybody that owns the game already, which is amazing. I think, CD Projekt Red had their issues with Cyberpunk and basically, had the worst launch ever and went back on so many promises and false advertising, false marketing about that game. But what they're doing with Witcher 3, keeping that game up to date, upgrading it and continuing to support it is actually incredible. I don't think they're going to see a huge financial result from this. So that's even more of a reason to, be happy about this. And we don't really have many details about what the update is going to bring. They are saying it's bringing visual performance and technical enhancements, as well as some DLC from the Witcher Netflix series. So some like weapons and outfits or looks for the characters, which I guess some people are going to be excited about. I don't personally care about that. But then there's also some mod support that they are talking about. And it's not clear whether there's going to be actual mod support or they are actually going to include some mods from the PC, like Nexus mod market for mods, into the version. Like, are they going to bake the mods in and you're maybe going to be able to toggle them on and off? Who knows? But there is going to be a stream next week to show off the game and show off those details. So definitely stay tuned for that. And let's finish off with some industry news. Gearbox has purchased the Risk of Rain IP. So not the developers. Hopu Games, which I think it's how you pronounce it, Hopu Games, is still independent. They haven't been bought by Gearbox, but Gearbox did buy the Risk of Rain IP. Now, I don't really trust Gearbox with anything, but it's kind of weird that they bought the Risk of Rain IP because there are already 2 games out. I don't know what you would do with a 3rd game, considering how different the 1st and 2nd games are. So if you don't know, Risk of Rain 1 is like a platformer Terraria style game, and Risk of Rain 2 is a 3D multiplayer co-op shooter thing, which is fantastic, by the way. I highly recommend that too. So yeah, they bought Risk of Rain. What are they going to do with it? Who knows? Maybe there's going to be like a Duke Nukem Risk of Rain game or something. I don't know. And lastly, Nvidia is getting sued for an issue with the 4090 cards that have been out just recently. Apparently, they are catching on fire where the cables go into the power plug, which is, not good. Gamers Nexus did a fantastic video on this, so if you're into hardware and all of that, check out the Gamers Nexus video. I will link to that down in the video description. But they have been able to recreate the problem. It's basically down to bad connection, so you don't fully plug in the cable and that can cause some issues. Or apparently if the cable is being pulled from one side and it's not fully seated, then it can be an issue. And it can catch on fire, which, you don't want to have your computer catch fire, which is going to be a problem. So, hopefully this lawsuit, if it's warranted, will force Nvidia to actually address this issue if it needs to be addressed. I think it's too early to call it in terms of whether there's an actual production issue with the cards, whether there's something that needs to be done about it. Apparently, maybe that's the case, but hopefully this gets resolved in a way that benefits the consumers. And that's going to be it, guys. As I mentioned, not a whole lot going on this week. Leave your comments down below in the comment section if there's any feedback about this video. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you in the next one.